Welcome to Murray Mysteries.
Shit! What are we going to do? We've lost our advantage.
Calm down. Let's think. How fast can we get to Galatz?
Fastest is by bus. It's a 7-hour journey. Next one leaves at 6:30 a.m. tomorrow.
What? How do you know?
I googled it while you were all panicking.
Right. Well, then that settles it. Art, will you kindly get us all tickets for the trip? Miss Murray, Quincy, try and get a hold of someone in the Galatz port and get them to search the boat when it arrives. I trust you can both be very convincing. Everyone else, pack up and be ready to leave by 5:30 tomorrow. We can't risk missing that bus.
Got it. Come on, Quincy. Let's threaten some harbour workers.
I was going to go with charm or bribery, but guess that works too.
Jonathan, a word.
Of course. What is it?
You look better.
Thank you. I feel better. Is that a problem?
Not in itself, but I suspect it means your link with the Count is weakening.
So it's just fading over time?
Or he's purposefully loosening the leash.
Why would he do that?
Exactly. That is what I'm concerned about. I don't understand what he's trying to do.
Maybe he's trying to shake us. He knows you're using me to follow him.
He's smarter than that. He can't possibly think we don't know where he's going.
But if he's still going back to his castle, knowing full well we'll follow him there...
He must be confident he can defend it from us. Yes, I see.
So, if he reaches the castle, it's over.
Potentially. Which means we need to catch him before then.
Easier said than done. Especially if I'm... malfunctioning.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Jonathan. None of this is your fault.
Wish I believed that.
Hello, dear listeners. Checking in from somewhere outside of Bucharest. Our bus is already about 2 hours...
3
hours late. Wonderful. I'm going to be honest with you, listeners. This isn't looking good. We don't know if we'll make it on time to stop the Count from disembarking. No matter what we do, he always seems to be one step ahead of us.
At least he's out of England?
Yes, but for how long? What do you think he'll do if we don't stop him? Lay low for a while, then come back when we least expect him?
Yeah, you're probably right. Besides, he'll still have to feed. We can't let him keep terrorizing the locals.
From what I've heard in Jonathan's recordings, they seem to be much smarter about it than we were.
Good point. What I listened to, though, is I kept wanting to shout, tell Jonathan to pay attention, to take a hint, to run, but...
He didn't know. We probably would have done the same thing in his place. Up until a few months ago, we still lived in a world where vampires were fiction, where the biggest threats were mortal ones.
God. When I think about how long it took us to get it...
Don't remind me. I can't believe how stubborn I was. As if science could only encompass what was within my understanding. The arrogance.
Hey, you couldn't have known. You were taught that some things were science and others were fiction. Nobody thought to tell you it wasn't that clear-cut.
Van Helsing did.
Yes, well, sometimes it's hard to tell if what she says is serious or just...
Her eccentric professor shtick?
Yeah, that.
Expand your mind, Jane. The world is full of wonders beyond your imagination.
You sound like Doc Brown.
Exactly.
Was she always like this? When you were her student, I mean?
Pretty much, yes. She would barge into the lecture hall 10 minutes late, looking perfectly put together despite wearing last night's clothes half the time, and just start lecturing while she walked to her desk. Sometimes she went on tangents so long we thought she'd completely forgotten about the lecture, but they would always turn out to be relevant to the topic.
That sounds like her.
She's always walked the line between madness and genius. I suppose that's why it took me so long to believe her. I see a lot of delusions in my line of work, but deep down I knew that wasn't it.
I didn't know what to think for a long time. All I knew was that Lucy was there and we were finally together, and then she wasn't.
Well,
Yes, technically she still was, and then I had to drive a stake through her heart, and she wasn't. Again.
not exactly the most straightforward grieving process.
No. But I'm healing, I think. Slowly. You're definitely helping. All of you.
Hey, I'm glad. You're helping me too.
Besides, chasing vampires is a pretty effective distraction.
Speaking of, I think we're almost there. Seems like it. Ready?
As it'll ever be. You?
Let's catch that soulless fiend.
Murray Mysteries is a Nove storytelling production. This episode was written and produced by May Tudyk and featured Drew Victory as Mina Murray, Rebecca Krause as Professor Van Helsing, Tom McGuinness as Quincy Morris and Jonathan Harker, Bevan Tankard as Dr. Jane Seward,
Ari Willis as Art Homewood.
Original music by Sophie Kay. If you like our work and would like to support us, you can sign up for our Patreon at patreon.com/Nove Storytelling, or follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr. Thank you for listening.